On September 6, 2025, the world awoke to a geopolitical earthquake, not from nature, but from a dramatic realignment of global power. The BRICS bloc, once a loose coalition of emerging economies, has now expanded to include new members, even some from the European Union. This isn't just another summit, it's a direct challenge to the Western-dominated order of the past 3 decades. The expansion signals a collective desire for a multipolar world, where no single bloc dictates global decisions. For years, the Global South has demanded a greater voice in institutions like the IMF and World Bank. The new BRICS is their answer. Now spanning continents and cultures, BRICS aims to build a more equitable international system. The implications are vast. Global supply chains, financial markets, and diplomatic relationships are all set for radical transformation. The era of a single superpower is over. We're entering a world defined by shifting alliances and complex cooperation. This isn't a return to Cold War binaries, but a new, unpredictable reality. For citizens everywhere, these changes will affect prices, currencies, energy, and travel. Understanding BRICS is now essential for anyone seeking to grasp the forces shaping our future. The world has changed, and the story of the 21st century is being rewritten before our eyes. To understand today's BRICS, we must look back to its origins. The term BRIC was coined in 2001 by economist Jim O'Neill, describing Brazil, Russia, India, and China as future economic powerhouses. What began as a Western investment thesis quickly became a political reality. The 4 nations saw shared potential and began meeting informally, united by common interests and frustrations with the global order. In 2009, they held their first summit, aiming to reform, not overthrow the system, and demand a seat at the table. South Africa joined in 2010, making BRICS a truly global coalition. The group's mission: boost trade and investment among members, reduce dependence on the US dollar, and amplify their collective voice. They pushed for reforms at the UN and Bretton Woods institutions. The creation of the new development bank in 2014 was a landmark, offering infrastructure financing without Western strings attached. This was BRICS moving from words to action. The bloc's evolution from a catchy acronym to a force for change is now reshaping the global landscape. What started as an economic label has become a platform for real power. The world is watching as BRICS turns ambition into influence. Over the past decade, BRICS has matured from a discussion forum into a platform for real action. Its agenda now includes security, climate change, and public health, making it a key player in global diplomacy. The new development bank, based in Shanghai, has funded billions in sustainable infrastructure across the developing world. The contingent reserve arrangement offers members a financial safety net, building a parallel financial system outside Western control. BRICS Plus outreach brought in leaders from Asia, Africa, and Latin America, expanding its influence and laying the groundwork for today's dramatic growth. Internal differences remain, like the China-India border dispute and economic disparities, but the bloc has shown resilience and strategic patience. Skeptics doubted BRICS could become a coherent force, yet its members have consistently prioritized shared goals. The alliance's appeal now extends far beyond its core, tapping into a global desire for alternatives to Western dominance. Despite challenges, BRICS has become a resilient coalition, shaping a new international order. Its evolution is proof that diverse nations can unite for common purpose. The groundwork is set for a new era of global influence. The 2023 BRICS Summit in Johannesburg set the stage for a seismic shift. 6 new countries joined in 2024, including major energy producers and strategic players. Behind closed doors, more nations lined up to join, but the real shock came from Europe. Hungary and Italy, both EU members, broke ranks and joined BRICS, fracturing the post-Cold War European alignment. This move challenged the idea of a unified Western alliance and signaled a new era of strategic balancing. For countries like Nigeria and Indonesia, BRICS membership is about claiming regional power. For Saudi Arabia and the UAE, it's about securing markets and diversifying away from Western security. For Hungary and Italy, it's a high-stakes gamble for economic autonomy and national sovereignty. The motivations vary, but the message is clear. The global order is no longer set in stone. The West now faces a formidable, coordinated counterweight. Hungary and Italy's decision to join BRICS is the result of years of growing friction within the EU. Hungary, under Viktor Orban, has long pursued closer ties with Russia and China, seeking economic partnerships without Western conditions. Italy, facing economic stagnation and high debt, saw BRICS as a lifeline for growth and investment. Both nations argue they're not abandoning the West, but embracing a multi-aligned future. Their move challenges the foundation of Western unity and signals a shift toward strategic autonomy. The risks are high. EU leaders have condemned the decision, and consequences are likely. Yet Hungary and Italy are betting that the benefits of BRICS will outweigh any penalties. Their gamble has shattered the illusion of a united Europe and opened the door to a new era of geopolitical fluidity. The expanded BRICS now represents nearly half the world's population, and by purchasing power, surpasses the G7 in global GDP. It's a commodities superpower, controlling vast reserves of oil, gas, and critical minerals essential for the green transition and tech manufacturing. This concentration gives BRICS immense leverage over global supply chains and energy markets. The bloc's push for de-dollarization accelerates, with more trade in local currencies and talk of a new BRICS reserve currency. If major oil exporters accept non-dollar payments, the petrodollar system could be fundamentally challenged. This shift creates both risks and opportunities. Rival trading blocs may emerge, complicating global commerce. Yet, vast new markets and investment opportunities are opening, especially in infrastructure. Western companies must decide: engage with this new center of gravity, or risk being left behind. The economic landscape is tilting and the world must adapt. Experts agree. We're witnessing the rise of a truly multipolar world. Political scientist Ian Bremmer's G0 world, with no single dominant power, is now reality. The BRICS expansion, especially with EU members, is proof that old alliances are no longer absolute. Nations like Italy and Hungary aren't anti-West, they're pro-sovereignty, diversifying their global relationships. Economists like Joseph Stiglitz highlight frustration with Western-led institutions and see BRICS as an alternative development model. The new development bank offers financing with fewer strings, appealing to countries seeking sovereignty over their economic policies. This isn't a new Cold War. Economic interdependence remains deep. Instead, we're entering an era of competitive coexistence, with rival blocs forced to cooperate on global challenges. The diplomatic landscape is more complex and fluid than ever before. The world's future will be shaped by how these new centers of power interact. The BRICS expansion will ripple through every aspect of global life. For the West, it's a crisis of strategy. Punitive measures could backfire, but inaction risks further fragmentation. We may see two parallel trading systems, disrupting supply chains and creating new rules and currencies. In the short term, expect price volatility and shortages. In the long term, a more fragmented but resilient global economy. Culturally, BRICS challenges Western dominance in global values, promoting non-interference and pluralism. This could lead to a more diverse global dialogue, but also raises concerns about human rights standards. For citizens, the impact is real. Innovation may accelerate, but travel, investments, and energy security will all be affected. The era of stable, Western-led globalization is over. We are now citizens of a contested, uncertain, multipolar world. Adapting to this new reality is no longer optional, it's essential. We stand at a crossroads in history. The BRICS expansion redraws the global map, challenging the old G7-led order. This new bloc is diverse, united by a desire for a greater voice and a more equitable system. The path ahead holds both peril and promise. Rivalry could breed conflict, but multipolarity could force more balanced solutions. The West must move from dominance to competitive engagement, adapting to a changed world. Simply resisting BRICS is futile. Cooperation and innovation are now vital. The story of the 21st century is still being written. Its outcome depends on our choices and understanding. What does this new era hold? The future isn't predetermined. It will be shaped by the dialogues we have and the actions we take in this complex world.